Welcome to a brand new episode of Undisputed Nerds. This is the podcast where we go snap, crackle, and pop and talk about all your favorite superhero movies, TV shows, sometimes video games. I'm your host, Zane Taicho, and as always, I'm joined by the fantastic gentlemanly gamer. How are you, good sir?
I'm fine. I don't remember the last time I ever went pop on this podcast. I've definitely gone snap and crackle a lot because I am getting older now. But I don't recall ever going pop. But hey, there's a first time for everything, right, Zane?
Pop.
Yeah. Dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Hello everyone in Radioland. I hope you're doing well. How are you, Zane? What's new?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, what is new? Mandalorian. Oh my god, have you seen the latest episode?
Careful. Spoilers for Mando. Careful. No, I have not seen episode 3 yet. I have seen episode 2 now, which is
okay.
I'm basically operating about a week behind on Mandalorian. But yes, I've seen episode 2. I have not seen episode 3 yet. Episode 2 was fantastic though. It was really good. Well, I don't understand because you were saying, again, no spoilers. But you said to me when we did our predictions and conclusions episode, go check it out, guys. You said to me that the people were complaining about the episode being too dark. I didn't get that at all. I
don't think I said that.
Pretty sure you did. I thought you said that there had people complaining about it, like a la Game of Thrones last season, saying that the episode was way too dark and gloomy.
Oh,
I swear I had that conversation with you. I know I had it with a friend offline as well because they mentioned it, the fact that we said it in the podcast. So, I'll have to watch the video back. We may have, but offline. Sorry, that might be. Anyway,
no, that's right.
I don't agree. I thought I could see everything perfectly. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. Episode 2. So if you're telling me episode 3 is better, oh boy. I must apologize, by the way, guys. So for those listeners and to Zane, he doesn't know this. I've not been well this week. I've had the lurg come down with something nasty. I have no idea what it is. Absolutely no idea. Just knocked me off my feet for a couple of days, and then it won't go away. It's really annoying. It just keeps pottering around. It's all in my head now. It's all up in the sinuses and stuff, and it's just horrible.
Mate.
Like some viral infection thing that's going around. So stay safe if you're out there, guys, because it's quite nasty. It really did kicked my buttocks for a few days. So yeah, I did say that to the people we went to the cinema with tonight, but I don't think you were there when I said that. So sorry, I should have given you pre-warnings before I sat very close to you.
Yeah, never mind.
Strummed your thighs in a cinema.
Well, to be fair, I'll just reenact silly scenes from X-Men where I'll just go, "It's in my head, Charles. It's in my head."
You'd be like, what are they called? The Cranberries. In your head. It's in your head. I can't sing anymore because we'll get DMCA striked. But yeah, it's in my head, Charles. What is that? Which film is that from?
It's not a real quote, but it tends to happen a lot of the time where they're just like, "It's in my head, Charles.
I don't know what to do. What do we do, Charles? I don't know what to do."
Wonder.
The greatest ever X-Men quote that was in that trailer for Apocalypse. What do we do, Charles? I don't know what to do.
McAvoy.
I love James McAvoy. I had a conversation with somebody at work about James McAvoy today because apparently he's on their list. You have those lists. I don't need to go into too much detail about it. And I said, is it because, I'm cautious of going down this path, actually, bearing in mind it's a family-friendly show. But I said, is it because he's a bit rough, because you've seen him in Filth and other, the film Filth and other, not necessarily Split, but certainly certain things. Then she was like, no, actually. And it was a lady talking, and she'll never listen to this show, so we're safe talking about it. And she said, "No, actually, I much prefer the Atonement level James McAvoy, where he's in a period piece, barely shirted James McAvoy." And I was like, I can understand where you're coming from, but me myself, I'm much more of a rough and ready McAvoy, I think.
He'd make a great Doctor Who.
He would make a good Doctor Who. He would. You're right. You're right. I mean, there's no way in hell he'd ever do it, but he would make a good Doctor Who.
Maybe audiobooks.
No. No. If he's going to be Doctor Who, you need the money on screen. You know what I mean? You need that. That's what you need on screen.
BBC One time slot. Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you what. What's that film? What's that series he does? Oh God, I want to say His Mortal Engines, but it's not that. What is it?
His Dark Materials.
His Dark Materials. That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate crossover, isn't it? Imagine if they do an episode of Doctor Who where he watches his Dark Materials and then chooses that face, and then he's like, "I know who I am, and I know why I picked this face because I watched that TV show and it was great." Good old Doctor Who. Still working my way through it. Still no.
I started Eccleston series the other day.
It's great, isn't it? It's
so
fantastic.
Good.
To quote Eccleston, fantastic. I saw this really sad thing. Oh my God, that was really. I'll tell you that about Doctor Who. This was really depressing, right? So I was on YouTube, and I've liked up to like some nerd page which does all kinds of different Marvel and Doctor Who shenanigan stuff, and it had the catchphrases, if you will, of the Doctors throughout the regen, and it was fantastic from Christopher Eccleston, Alonzi from David Tennant, Geronimo from Matt Smith, and then it went just brilliant from Jodie Whittaker. Completely cut out Capaldi. It's like Capaldi had nothing. Capaldi didn't get anything. It's like, no, sorry, Capaldi, forget you. You don't get a catchphrase. You're too old for one. I was like, that's so unfair.
Did he have a catchphrase?
What was his catchphrase?
Right.
Eyebrows. The eyebrows were his catchphrase.
Is angry eyebrows? I don't know.
That was
Sonic sunglasses.
Everything's like fine apart from the eyebrows. These are attack eyebrows. I love Peter Capaldi so much. He's amazing. Like, I loved him when he was in. Because I don't know if have you seen The Thick of It?
I've seen various episodes. I couldn't say it. Like, yeah.
There's a couple of things. I'll send it to you afterwards, but there's a couple of things. So, like, I watched The Thick of It before he was announced as being Doctor Who, and so I was super excited to see him as Doctor Who. And somebody did this thing. I might have sent it to you in the past, actually.
Yeah,
where they did a trailer. They did a trailer, but it's sweary Doctor Who.
Yeah,
it's absolutely incredible. If you get the chance, guys, go and have a look for. I think it's called Sweary Doctor Who on YouTube. But if not, just type in Malcolm Tucker as Doctor Who, and it's basically somebody's taken a like Doctor Who kind of esque BBC One trailer where you've got like Cybermen and Daleks and stuff like that, but they've interspliced it with Malcolm Tucker from The Thick of It, and like it works so well, and it's so funny, and it's fantastic. You need to go and see it. To quote Christopher Eccleston, it's fantastic. But yeah, so yeah. Anyway, I don't think what else I've been doing this week. I've been just playing games, basically. Just being a normal man, an innocent man. Zane,
you've been streaming on Twitch?
No, because I've been sick, so I haven't been streaming this week. I've been a bit bad about it. I need to pick that up. I was thinking of streaming tonight, but unfortunately, the thing that we're going to talk about this evening went on a lot longer than I expected it to.
It really did, didn't it?
It really did, yeah. But so what are we going to be talking about? Oh, well, actually, what have you been doing this week? Have you had anything exciting going on, Zany Boy, apart from rewatching The Doctor?
Not much, I would say. Just the classics, really. Just trying to catch up on my reading list of comics and manga. So, I couldn't say there's anything.
Why did you say it like that?
I
manga?
Manga.
You almost turned it into Steve Mongo McMichael. Here comes Mongo.
I think I almost delivered manhwa, which is the Korean type of manga.
You merged it halfway through. Manga? Mango. There you go. He's been eating a lot of mangoes this week, guys.
Get 5 a day in.
Exactly.
We kind of talked about this at the cinema, But Zack Snyder had a little teaser, didn't he?
God.
His full circle.
Are you seriously going to make me talk about that? Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. And I couldn't give any less of a monkeys.
How exciting.
Is it? Is it really?
I mean, at this stage, we know it's a watch party for all of his DC movies. But the last time he did that, he announced his Snyder Cut. So it's kind of, do we speculate that there's going to be more, but maybe in a different format, like an animated movie or a comic book? Or
do you know what Snyder needs to do? Do you know what he needs to do? Move on. Much like you. Get over it. Focus on Army of the Dead 2 or whatever you want to focus on. Just, God, honestly. Just move away from the DC.
Rebel Moon he's working on.
Rebel. Yeah, just move on. Anyway, yes, we'll see. I'm sure we'll talk about it when that eventual nightmare scenario happens and he does start doing more stuff.
Do you mean nightmare as in like the name of that particular scene? Nightmare or...
God, look how excited you are. The sheer thought of a possibility that your lover boy Batfleck might come back for more, and you're all over it like a rash. Get over it.
What can I say? What can I say?
You just can't resist it, can you? You just can't resist a bit of Batfleck.
Oh my gosh. I know we're coming into a bit of a tangent, but I watched 2004.
My throat hurts, Zane. What do you want from me? God almighty. It's still going.
2004's Punisher movie for the first time.
God, what, for the first time? You've never seen it before? For the first time.
I'd never seen it before.
Oh, you've never seen the glory that is Kevin Nash getting a bunch of hot water thrown at his face?
I laughed like crazy when I saw that. Because for a moment, I was like, is that Kevin Nash?
It is.
And
Kevin
then
Nash.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, this movie is ridiculous on so many levels.
Somebody was talking about on What Culture the other day. They were talking about famous wrestlers turned actors, and they were talking about The Rock, and they were talking about John Cena, and they were talking about Batista. Nobody mentions Kevin Nash. He was one of the first.
Yeah,
you know, some of the stuff that he's done. Super Shredder, Magic Mike. Yeah, he was Super Shredder. Are you serious? You didn't know?
I didn't know that. No.
If you watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Spoilers for a film that's like 30 years old, but there's
Vanilla Ice.
With Vanilla Ice, yes. So there's a scene at the end of it where they get that Shredder accidentally drinks all the ooze, and he turns into the Super Shredder. The Super Shredder is Kevin Nash.
That's amazing.
Yes, that's why Punk calls him Super Shredder at one point in one of the promos that they did back in 2011. Where he runs through a list of his names. He goes like. Oz, Vinny Vegas, Super Shredder. I'm not sure how many people will know what that one is.
That's cool.
That's why. Because that was yeah. There you go.
You live and learn. Wow.
There you go. You've learned something new today, Zane, about the legend that is Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash's IMDb.
Yeah, it's on there. The king. But yeah, it's good when he gets hot water thrown in his face and then he's all like, I'm a Russian.
It swells up as well. Oh, yeah, I was laughing hysterically.
It's not very nice. Yeah. That was when he realized that it swelled up like that when he realized that his favored nations agreement hadn't come through properly. And so somebody else had come into WCW on a lot more money and he hadn't matched it. No! I didn't want to leave WWE, but the money. Well, what are we talking about this evening, Zane? What did we experience that is going to be dramatic?
This evening, we experienced the fury of the gods in Shazam, the sequel to Shazam 1.
The Mungo of the gods, if you will. Shazam. We did. We saw it live, and we're going to talk about it. But I think there's something else we should talk about first, isn't there?
I think so, too.
Let's check it out.
I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Surfshark VPN, who have given me Now get this, 83% off plus 3 months free. So if you've been meaning to pick up a VPN, now might be the time. Surfshark is a trusted VPN to help you protect your privacy online. Whether that's protecting yourself from malicious websites or if you're in a public Wi-Fi connection, you can keep your information locked down. Surfshark's clean web feature blocks ads, trackers, malware, and phishing attempts, allowing you to surf the web safely. Plus, it lets you change your virtual location. So if there's an anime on Netflix that's not available in your country, but say in Japan, guess what? You're in Japan now. You want to use BBC iPlayer to watch all of Doctor Who. So pick up Surfshark using the link in the description down below. Use code Undisputed Nerds and get 83% off and 3 months free.
There you go, guys. Come on. You got to get some Surfshark. Mm-hmm. Yes. So as Zane mentioned before the ad, we went to see Shazam, didn't we? And sequel to the, I would say, sleeper hit Shazam from back in 2017, 2018, something like that.
Ooh, yeah, I guess it has been a couple of years now, hasn't it?
Pre-pandemic, wasn't it? Pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
I don't know when it was exactly. Yeah, no worries. So as far as a quick recap of the first Shazam, so the ancient wizard gifted the young boy, Billy Batson, with the powers of the gods, the powers of Shazam, which gave him something about wisdom of Solomon, strength of Hercules, or some other doodah, loads of different powers, basically. And he was the superhero known as Shazam, and he fought off Dr. Savannah, played by Mark Strong. And he had the old generic baddie beasties of grey CGI monsters, which was a bit of a shame. But it was all in all pretty decent film. And at the end of the film, the way he overcame said beasties was by sharing his power with the family. As Dom Toretto would do in the Fast and the Furious films, he shared the power amongst the family. And that was where we last left it. So not only was there Shazam, there was also all of his little family of Shazams. Mary Marvel and Freddie, whatever his name is, not Flintoff. Why do I want to keep saying Freddie Flintoff? That's really annoying.
It goes in the box with John Fashanu and
John Fashanu. Favreau. There you go. Yeah. Lovejoy. Yeah. So anyway, that was where we last left it. Was always good in superhero land. So I guess
2019, by the way.
2019 was it? Oh, it was right before. Yeah. Right before. So 4 years ago. That's I guess that makes sense with the pandemic and everything. So should we do a non-spoilery recap of what's going on in this film? Yeah, and then give our verdict, and then talk a little bit about spoilers.
Yeah.
Do you want to give the recap, or do you want me
to? Just before that, I thought I'd pull up some numbers just to get an idea of the success of the first movie. So the first movie grossed 140.5 million in the United States and Canada, and 225.6 million in other territories, for a worldwide total of 366 million.
What was the budget?
Oh, I don't have that in front of me.
I remember it being a moderate success. It didn't set the world on fire or anything like that, but I remember it being like, oh yeah, this. I don't think the budget was that huge, because his suit isn't actually CGI or anything like that. It's a muscle suit, isn't it? In the first one,
wasn't that the most expensive thing? Because here it is. The production budget was 90 to 100 million.
Okay, so yeah, it made then you doubled that so it made about 160 million based on those takings worldwide. So that's pretty good. That's not a bad profit for a superhero movie, because you double it for the marketing and whatnot. So that's pretty nice. I have to say about the first Shazam, I went into it with zero expectations. I thought it was going to be a pile of poop, and I was really pleasantly surprised by the first one. I thought the first one was great. Again, villain was a bit rubbish, but not Dr. Zavanya, but like the CGI monstery thing at the end was a bit rubbish.
Yeah.
But I was really surprised by it, and it was really fun. And it was a nice, fun romp of an experience to watch. This one, we're not going into kind of spoiler territory here, but so did you want to give the plot synopsis of it, or did you want me to do it?
You go ahead.
Okay. So in this one, so obviously all is well at the end of Shazam 1. However, in this one, there's some ancient gods have started to poke their head above water again, in the form of Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren. Still random to me. They're causing a lot of trouble. And they want what Shazam's got. And they're coming after him, baby. And they're coming after the whole Marvel family, the whole Shazam family. And that is literally what the plot of this is. It's Billy continuing to cope with being part of the family and wanting, his to keep the family together, whilst also dealing with these godlike gods. And that's basically the plot of it, without going into too much kind of like detail on spoilers or anything like that. So I will say what I thought of this film. Or do you want to do the countdown? I think you and I both know exactly how we both felt about this film, to be honest with you. But yes, from my point of view, I went in with zero expectations on this, because I thought I saw like a little clip of a trailer from a wrestling show, and I was like, it's going to be naff. Like it's not going to be good. I really enjoyed this film. I really did. I thought it was great. What did you think of it?
Yeah, similar sort of scenario, really. I went into this thinking... I went into this feeling like I'd seen everything in the trailers, the TV spots. I felt like it was going to be one of those movies. But I walked away pleasantly having a great experience. And I was going to probably save this comment till later, but I feel like I had way more fun in this movie than I did with Ant-Man 3, which I was expecting to have. To me, this is like an Ant-Man level of fun and gags and stuff.
Yeah,
but it's weird I didn't get that in Ant-Man 3. I got this in this weird Shazam movie.
See, Ant-Man 3 was weird. So can we just tangent for just a second about Ant-Man 3? I read something on the internet recently about the ending of Ant-Man 3. Did you read this?
That it was shot like 6 months ago.
That they changed it.
Yeah.
So the original ending to Ant-Man 3, they're not sure whether it was supposed to be him dying or Hope and him getting stuck in the quantum realm. But Kang was never supposed to lose. And apparently it was studio execs who made him change it and have it where Kang gets sucked into the portal and they survive. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
And it really doesn't fit tonally as well with the rest of that film. Like you can feel the whole film sets up to have them like sacrifice themselves in some form. And it's like, and that's why the ending felt so tonally weird, because it's like, that shouldn't have happened. It should have been them making a sacrifice, a la Tony, a la Steve, etc. So anyway, sorry, tangent. I agree with you. I agree. I think that Shazam, this felt a lot more fun. The one thing I did think, looking back on it, not as much action as I was actually expecting there to be. When you think about the number of fight sequences and that side of things, not actually that many, but I guess it's difficult to measure that when you've got basically a superhero with god powers.
Yeah.
But no, I thought this film was great. I don't know when you want to get into spoiler territory or not, so I'll skirt around it. But just overall feel of it, just a fun time, like you said. It breezed past. I did not feel the 2.5 hours that it is at all.
Not at all.
I was like, oh wow, this is super. When we came out of the cinema, I was genuinely surprised at how late it was. I was like, wow, we've been in there for that long, really? Because it just flew by, and it was just a fun, nice thing. I loved that what they did, where they, again, skirting around spoilers, that they took the characters that they'd established in the first film, and I would say this film doesn't necessarily focus very much on Billy. No. It focuses on him as a hero, but not really him as a kid, which the first film did a lot, and instead it focuses a lot more on his number siblings. 2, Freddy. Yeah, exactly, and siblings, and it's a lot more about their story than it is necessarily, and growing up and how it feels to grow up, and to grow apart from people, and all those sensations of like being afraid of losing people, and not necessarily losing people in like a death way, but losing people in like we're growing apart and I'm getting older and this feels weird. And I thought they handled it really well. Like it was, again, it's just a really good. This is not a film that's like The Dark Knight. It's not reinventing the genre or anything like that. Or for instance, Batman v Superman in Zane's eyes. But it's just a fun romp and just really enjoyable superhero cinema. Like if this had come out in like 2005. It would have been like, this is one of the greatest films ever made.
It would have killed it, yeah. It very much embraces what it is. It doesn't shy away with the cheesiness. It's it plays it up for laughs, if anything. The other things I just wanted to mention before we get into spoilers, the visuals are really good. They're not like incredible. They're not going to blow you away, but they're still passable. They're not like horrendous. And the score I found really interesting. There's a particular score in this that feels very John Williams Superman. I don't know if you noticed it. It's like violins kind of amping up. There's sequences with Shazam where he's like becoming heroic, if you know what I mean, kind of.
Oh, you're talking about the ending parts, aren't you? Like with the
not just that. There's like a moment where he has his like first fight with Helen Mirren, and it has the same sort of like.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that fight. That was a great fight as well. Actually, I take it back. There are a lot of good fights in this. I take it back. Yeah.
So yeah, I think there are some good moments. Lucy Liu feels like she's playing the role, and that's fine. Like,
I think Lucy Liu's a bit generic villainy for my liking in this one. And it is. Yeah. Well, I mean, let's go into full kind of like spoilery territory. Might as well. Yeah. So, I mean, so it turns out there's not just 2 sisters. There's actually 3. The twist is that the third sister, if you can call it a twist, the third sister is enrolled, I guess, in the high school that they all go to as kids, and Freddie becomes romantically involved with her, and he's basically the lifeline. The gist is the gods, so Lucy Liu, Helen Mirren, and the other actress who I don't know the name of, I think the god's name is Anna Lucia, or something like that. The name is Anna, but I don't know what the full name is. They basically, their realm has been decimated by the wizard, who stole their father's powers. So their father is Atlas. He stole their powers, and that's part of Shazam, basically. And they want those powers back, and they want to restore their realm. At least we think they want to restore their realm, but in actual fact, there is dissension among the sisters that we're not aware of in the beginning. And that's what eventually leads to their downfall, is that they turn on each other. Helen Mirren does what she, Helen Mirren's incredible. I wouldn't say she's got the most of stuff to work with in this. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of, she's a bit limited with what she's got. Same with Lucy Liu, really, and she's a bit generic, shouty villain of the week. But I mean, they do well, and I like
fine in this movie, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. They had to. The thing is, right, is that so you've got these superheroes who have godlike powers in Captain Marvel. Sorry, Shazam. I hate it, Zane. And then you've got actual real gods, so they're kind of demigods against real gods, and it's like, how do you how do you the powers, like literally Helen Mirren's character has the power of the elements, so she can literally do anything with her mind. Lucy Liu's character can warp men's minds and drive them to madness, and then Anna can manipulate dimensions, seemingly the axis. Yeah, exactly, the axis. And it's just like, there's no, like, how with all three of them working together, there's no way they would lose. It had to be that where they internally combust, and then it's like one of them, has the thing at the end. So it made sense why they did that, and I do understand. And basically, at the end, Lucy Liu's character goes crazy and wants to destroy the Earth realm in the same way that they destroyed their realm. The humans overthrew the gods and yada yada yada, and that's what causes the big climactic final battle. What else would you like to talk about in this spoilers wise, Zane? As far as kind of like big events that happen, there's so much to go through.
Yeah, this movie does a lot of heavy lifting. There's so much in this movie because, as you say, there's Freddy's romantic journey. There's also, as you say, Billy's journey in terms of not only believing in himself, his still unresolved issues with his mum and the new family. There's everyone's got something, and it's weird because I think everyone falls in love with the siblings because the siblings have so much character to them and they do offer so much. It's just like, I guess the one thing this movie's guilty of is kind of chopping and doing, the segment with the unicorns.
Yes.
As much as I laughed and loved it so much, it felt kind of like out of nowhere.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. They kind of established it at the beginning where it's like she's got this love of unicorns, doesn't she? And like, she's set up all these dioramas and stuff with unicorns in it.
And Skittles.
This is one of the family. Yeah, that for me was that. So this is getting onto the part of the films that I didn't like, which we'll talk about in a bit. But yeah, remind me of Skittles because that'll put my mind right back into it.
Okay.
Whilst we're talking about kind of positives of the film, tonally speaking, I don't know whether this is a shift post-Gun or whether it's just before then and just following the same thing. But the thing I liked the most about the first Shazam movie was that it didn't feel bleak. Like, it didn't feel like this sepia tone Snyderverse, which, no offense if you like that, fine, but I'm over it. Like, not everything needs to be dark, especially in a Shazam verse. And this film did a really good job of continuing that, like, light-hearted, bright tone while still conveying senses of menace. Like the opening scene with the gods, they do some really horrible stuff to people, and it's conveyed that way, and you see really horrible stuff, but it's still this bright and comic booky-esque almost world, and it doesn't darken, it doesn't make the impact of what the bad things are any less impactful. The fact that it's a bright and like vibrant world. And I like that, and I want them to continue with that. Like, I think we're done with the everything needs to be dark like Batman, days. So that was really positive. That was really fun. As I said before, the Freddy character in this is great. I can't remember what that actor's name is, but he is fantastic, and his romance with Anna is really believable. And again, just really nice and well established, and there's more to him than just powers, and I think that's
quips,
yeah, and I think that's the foundation of what they're trying to show here, is that it's similar in a super soldier serum kind of way. It's the man that makes the serum and not the other way around. And with Freddy we get that proven kind of with later scenes when he tries to save Anna from the big
dragon.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid saying it, but yeah, that thing. I was trying to hold some things back. Yeah, there's a dragon in this film, guys.
It's in the trailers.
Okay, fine. Yeah, the big bad at the end of this film is basically Lucy Liu on a dragon. That is the big bad that Shazam has to fight. And Yeah, no, I can't give this film praise enough. I thought it was great. As far as negatives of this film is concerned, I did not like the fact that there is the thing that we were talking about earlier on was unicorns and Skittles. Yeah. So there's a scene in the film where they have to. It's a MacGuffin bit. They have to stop these things by getting another thing, and the other thing they need to get is some unicorns. And it's been established previously that this girl thinks that the ambrosia that will tempt these unicorns is Skittles. And then they product place Skittles, and they literally use the catchphrase "taste the rainbow" multiple times in it. It drives me nuts. Like, I hate that, man. I hate that so much. I hate product placement in films. I hate it in the James Bond franchise. I hate it in this. It's like, why do you need to do that?
Just to touch on that quickly, this is the third call to Skittles in this movie. It happens in the opening when Mary had Skittles in her jeans when she did the washing and then had to rewash her jeans. There's another callback where she gives Helen Mirren, when they capture her, she gives her a bowl of yellow Skittles. She's like, you don't deserve strawberries.
Yeah, they really hammer home the Skittles connection in this. Like, and it's fine. I get it. I get why they're setting up for that, but like, still, just dude, seriously, like, let's just lay off the product placements for a bit. That drove me nuts. It's a small gripe, but it is quite a big one. I felt like, whilst the film does a good job with the characters that it shows, it's a big family. And we saw a lot of Freddie.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of Billy. Yeah. We saw quite a lot of Mary, but that was it. And the other family members really don't get much of a fair shake. Like, they each have their own little bit where they're all kind of like, oh yeah, this one's mapping the doors in the Rock of Eternity, and this one is in the library in the Rock of Eternity, and this one just likes Skittles. But it's like there's never any growth of their characters. Do you know what I mean? There's never any investment into them, really. And then they lose their powers, and it's just kind of like, and then right at the end we get one like little tease of one of the characters being gay, because he's reading like a men's magazine. And then it's like, right at the end, it's just like, yeah, tell us your secret. We're all superheroes. I'm gay. And it's like, okay, cool. Well, that way to develop that. Nice
well,
work.
They all kind of say, yeah, we knew.
I know, but it's just like, we never get any like that's like literally all that character is there for,
and that's his 15 minutes. I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
It's a small gripe because the film's already quite long, but I just felt there could have been more done with the rest of the family. But maybe they're saving it for a future film, possibly. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other stuff for this film.
Can I have a little go?
Please go. It's your show, Zane. Please.
Just to touch on the unicorn bit one last time, I love its introduction. It felt like something out of Pan's Labyrinth, like this like dark king of beasts that goes around impaling cyclops and minotaurs with its horn. It was kind of a fun spin on it.
Oh, can we whilst we're talking about like amazing beasts in this film, can we please talk about Digimon Houston in this?
Yes,
who is absolutely incredible. Like, he is so good in this film.
The unsung hero of
my god, he's so good. The wizard who gives Shazam his powers, who we thought was dead, but in actual fact is not. Oh, dude, he's just the best. Like, funny whilst being serious is such a hard thing to do, and he does it so perfect. Like, he did it in Guardians of the Galaxy as well. You know, like, he's amazing. And this was just him on another level, especially when he turns up at the end, like, pimped out. It was like, yes,
as himself.
Yeah.
What do you mean I'm the wizard? I'm
yeah, he came in from the after party. That's what it is. Yeah, he's incredible in this. I guess let's talk about some other big surprises in this. So we get what I can only describe as quite an erotic scene earlier in the film, where Shazam has a dream about Wonder Woman, but we never see her face. So similar to the old Superman thing in the last one, in the tease at the end, we never see her face until we do see her face, and it's the wizard's head, which is that was confusing for me, let me tell you. But then she's actually in it. Gal Gadot does actually show up later on in the film after Shazam makes the ultimate sacrifice and dies, and then she gives some magic, doesn't she, and brings him back to life. Oh, it's lovely.
I didn't know if you knew this already, but this was actually spoiled in a TV spot this week.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So her whole cameo is in a TV spot / advert for the movie. Yeah,
that is ridiculous.
Completely ruins the surprise for some people.
I actually wonder if they're yeah, that's really stupid. I've been doing a thing. I've been doing the thing that our friend does, which is avoiding most trailers and TV spots and anything, and going into it completely fresh. And it's been fantastic, honestly. Like, it's been such a great experience to do that and not to know what's coming. Like John Wick, for example, the John Wick 4 trailer. That's the first time I saw that trailer tonight.
Oh wow!
I didn't realize that trailer before. No, so like it was like, oh yeah, I'll go and see that. That was great. But yeah, that's so stupid. Why put that in a TV spot? That's, again,
I
stupid.
know.
Warner Brothers don't know what they're doing. They got no idea.
It's kind of that thing, isn't it? At this stage, we don't know, like, if they're just kind of like, well, what does it matter? We've hitting the reset button anyway, or
she's a draw, I guess. She's a draw, so it brings people in.
I think just having a quick look at the numbers for it, it's not as performing as well as the first one.
I didn't think it would.
In terms of its opening weekend. The movie had, let me just have a quick look. I think it's something like sequel took flight with 3.4 million in Thursday's previews behind its original. The original had a 5.9 million in Thursday previews.
It's not going to make as much. I think there's two things going on. I think we are in a period where there is a bit of superhero fatigue. And people are tired of superhero films, especially DC films, because DC films have been so all over the place. And also with the James Gunn announcement, people probably don't care anymore about this universe because they know it's going to end soon.
Yeah.
You know, like the next film, even though you say Aquaman is apparently, you know, but like the next film is going to reset everything. That's the whole point of The Flash. So, you know, maybe people are just like, I don't really care anymore. I just don't care, you know, which is a shame because it's a good film. Go and watch it if you get the chance, guys. It is a good film. Post credits. What the hell happens in the post credits? I can't remember. I know one of them. I know the Dr. Savannah one. What's the other one?
The first one was...
What was the first one?
I'm drawing a blank.
All right. The Dr. Savannah one, let's talk about that first. Dr. Savannah's in prison. He's been there for 2 years, even though it's been 4 since the last one came out. And he gets approached by the worm guy again, the little caterpillar. That's it. That's literally it.
Oh, I remember the first one now. How could we forget the first one? It's the team from Peacemaker.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yes, that was good. Oh, yeah, I can't believe... God, that's how seamlessly it fit into that film. That I was like, yeah, I completely forgot. Yes, he's been recruited. He's been recruited into the Justice Society. Not the League, the Justice Society.
Justice Society, which you turned around and said to me after, would that have been the bridge between this movie and Blackadder?
Yeah, Blackadder. You said then. You said Blackadder.
I didn't. I said Blackadder.
Okay, all right. Watch the video back.
10th Adam.
10th Adam. Yeah, 10th Adam. Yeah, the other 9 didn't count. Yeah, yeah. I wonder if it is, because that was the Justice Society that was in Black Adam. By the way, just for the record, this is a much better film than Black Adam. It really is. I enjoyed Black Adam, but like this is way better than that. Like, God, it was so much tighter in terms of writing, and just so much better in terms of action sequences as well. Even, like none of that rubbish slow-mo. Let's see everything. We only got like one bit of slow-mo in this, which was when he uppercut, he uppercuts a dragon. Like that was the one bit of slow-mo that I remember where I was like, that's amazing. The CGI looked great in this as well.
Yeah, it looks really good. There's another slow-mo when Anna loses her powers, and I was like, was that necessary? Like,
oh yeah, you're right. Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah,
just came out of nowhere, that.
Yeah.
The other thing I just wanted to mention, which kind of goes back to my other statement about there being like sort of Superman-esque moments, is when he catches Mary.
Oh yes, that was very Superman.
That was I was like, that's a very Superman.
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah, we should explain what's going on. By the way, there's a staff that the staff of Atlas basically that can remove their powers. It sucks the powers out of them, and so the whole family, apart from Shazam, loses all their powers. And then he's the one who has to kind of like fight the end boss, if you will. That classic, and then he makes the ultimate sacrifice to save everyone. We may not be doing it justice as far as talking about it is concerned. And if you're watching a review of it before going to see it, what are you doing? But still, if you haven't seen it, you really should give it a shot, because it is very good. Zachary Levi's fantastic as Shazam. Like, and just
really is.
Yeah, he's got it nailed, man. And I am sad that if they do reboot it, I hope they keep him as Shazam, because he is well deserved as that character. He really is.
I gotta admit, like, after this movie, I kind of want that Justice Society now. Like,
I don't.
I love Pierce Brosnan in that movie, and Hawkman. I really enjoyed that team, and I kind of like.
Just to be clear, Pierce Brosnan's dead. He dies in Black Adam. Spoilers.
His character dies. Yeah.
I agree with you on the Hawkman. I hope they keep Hawkman. I think all bets are off. I would love to see Peacemaker in the Justice Society. How crazy would that be? That would be amazing.
That would have been crazy, yeah.
From what I can remember as well, by the way, I do not believe, I could be wrong, but I do not believe Justice Society is on James Gunn's slate for the first year. So I think that is a remnant crossover from Black Adam. And I think that was what it was going to be moving forward. It was going to lead up to a big Justice Society movie. And I think that is now dead. And I don't think that is going to happen. That is my theory. And I think the Dr. Savannah scene was leading up to the big bad in Justice Society. It'll be like, I don't know whether it'll be, it won't be Starro, but like, it'll be, what's another weird kind of like, weird biological baddie the Justice League could face. I'm gonna have a quick look.
Like Justice. Mongo? Like
no. Organic baddies. I just typed in Justice League organic, and it came up with Justice League organic farming. That's not what I was thinking about. Let's see. I'll read through this list of the Justice League enemies, and we can see if any of them match with that little thing. The Ultra Humanite, nope. Lex Luthor, no.
Amazo would be the cool one.
The Funhouse aliens that lost a war in a distant solar system 100,000 years ago. Could be them. It's not going to be the Joker. Not going to be Vandal Savage. Not going to be Solomon Grundy. Per Degaton. Degaton organized the crime syndicate to steal atomic missiles, bringing the United States and Russia to near war. I'm assuming that's a human. King Kull. That might possibly actually. That might be who the caterpillar is Like it could be like a brain worm for King Kull, ruler of the sub men who ruled Earth until humanity overthrew them thousands of years ago, killing most of them. Kull was a frequent foe to Captain Marvel due to his superhuman strength, advanced technology, and desire to wipe out humanity. Kull masterminded a caper where he sneaked into the Rock of Eternity and captured Shazam and the gods/goddesses that granted power to the Marvel family, using a ray that slowed down their impulses, with only the swift Mercury escaping and warning the other heroes. Allying with blah, 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 blah. Kull sought to eliminate humanity on all 3 Earths, and it took the combined effort of the Justice League, the Justice Society, and the Squadron of Justice to stop him.
Wow.
Could be him.
Those credentials.
Well, the fact that it's also an enemy of Captain Marvel. You are right. It could be, I wonder. I don't know who the little thing. I'll have to have a look. Hang on. Who is the caterpillar?
I think he's called like Mr. Mind or something.
Oh, is it Mr. Mind? It is Mr. Mind. Oh, that's different. Oh, right. Okay. Monster Society of Evil. Yeah. Mr. Mind is a 2-inch alien caterpillar of high intelligence with telepathic powers who usually carries out his villainous plans through an organization called the Monster Society of Evil. The Monster Society of Evil has made its debut in Captain Marvel Adventures, and the resulting Monster Society of Evil story arc continued for 2 years in the Captain Marvel Adventures. Wow, that's crazy. Okay. Oh, well, there we go. Well, now we know who he is. There we go.
Yeah, I kind of wish that was still a thing.
What?
That we were getting Justice Society.
I don't, purely because I know what you mean, but I don't, purely because I don't want to see The Rock anywhere near DC anymore. After Black Adam, they shouldn't build an entire universe around Black Adam. Sorry, I love you, Rock, but no. And if it wasn't James Gunn doing it, then I agree with you. I might feel bad, but it's going to be James Gunn doing it, and I cannot wait to see his vision. I am so excited for the DC slate coming up, and this could well be the thing that finally makes them compete properly with Marvel. Like it really could. If it's cohesive, if it's believable, and if it's the right casting, because they're going to have to recast Superman. That's going to be a hard job, but if there's a lot of ifs and buts, but with James Gunn, I'm extremely confident, because you look at his body of superhero work and it's been phenomenal so far.
Very true.
Guardians of the Galaxy is incredible. The Suicide Squad is incredible. Peacemaker is fantastic. He even did a decent job as a producer on Brightburn, which is a dark Superman thing. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, I'm fully confident. So yeah, we're definitely giving it an undisputed this one, aren't we?
Oh yeah, 100%. Everyone does an outstanding job. The kids do a great job. Even the supporting cast who plays their parents, I think they're charming and amazing. So yeah, I think this movie deserves all its flowers, really, because it does.
It's a fun goodbye to this version of the universe. Anathea, that was the lady's name. That's the other god's name, Anathea.
I have to. One thing that kind of took me out of it is you mentioned that Billy sacrifices himself and he has like a burnt face, and Freddy does the classic like "wake up, Billy" and slaps his burnt face.
Yeah, it's kind of sting, isn't it?
That's one way to try and wake him up, Billy. Yeah, I mean, Freddy. Geez. Gosh.
God, why? Where do you get your medical degree?
There's one side that's like completely fine. Yeah. Disregard that. Slap the.
Yeah, he went straight for the burn. Yeah, monster. What a monster. Yeah, no, I agree. Do better next time, Freddy. Do better when your friends die. Right. Anyway, I am rambling now. John Wick 4 next week, isn't it?
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be a good time. Go see Shazam, guys. If you don't care about spoilers and you've listened to this whole review, go and see it. It's good. And Zane, you take care of yourself, darling. But if people want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, how can they get in touch with you?
They can follow me on all of my social media at Zane_Taicho. You can follow the channel's social medias at Undisputed_Nerds. You could also email us nerdsundisputed@gmail.com. But Gigi, if people want to reach out to you, how could they do so?
Leave me alone. I don't want to be contacted anymore. No, you can get me twitch.tv/gentlemanlygamer. You can also get me on Instagram at gentlemanlygamer. And if I'm feeling well enough, then I'll be streaming. Such a whinger. All right, Zane, you take care of yourself. I love you long time, and I'll see you next week.
I'll see you next week, and we'll see you next week too.
And we'll see all of you next week.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.